my art GCSE sketchbooks. Woo! So I actually just got them back like 40 minutes ago, and when I was first debating whether to choose art, I used to watch a lot of videos like this one, flip throughs and tip videos, so I thought I'd contribute my art GCSE experience to YouTube. Side note, I did actually get an A star, but I did WJEC, and so it split 60% coursework and then 40% exam. But that 40% exam is just basically like picking a topic and making a sketchbook on that topic. So I don't know if it's really an exam, but the 40% exam got cut, so this is all coursework. And I mean, art is coursework anyway, so it did not make sense. But there we go. I don't even know if that helps, to be honest, but here's what I did. And my teacher said I got full marks, I think. And I didn't even finish it. Like, there's quite a few unfinished pages. And when I ran out of time, I just started putting sticky notes on my work and just writing about it. Just to show, like, annotation. Hopefully, showing you these will help you maybe make a decision, or just for inspiration, because I absolutely adore some of my pages. Like, at the end I'll probably do some like just pans of my favourite spreads of these pages that I've ever done, because there's some pretty cute ones, so I'm gonna give myself that. So here we go. So this is now my first sketchbook that I started in year 10. Wow, it feels like such a long time ago, and I actually joined GCSE art late. So originally I was taking French, but I was struggling so much, so I decided to change to art, and on the day I changed, she was like, you need to catch up, so I did. Literally in 3 weeks, they just done observational studies, and this is the first page here. And I actually asked to do a sketchbook. Everyone else was doing like big pages, but I didn't like that. And so those are my observational studies. We have a few more here, and I actually really like this page. It's all about bell peppers, and peppers are pretty tasty. So this bit is some Sharpie on acetate above a biro pen drawing. I thought that was quite an interesting concept, and include quite a few mediums, which they love. So this next page was all about printmaking. So we did monoprinting and carbon printing, and I was not a fan of monoprinting. Like, they look like child drawings, so I mainly did more of carbon printing, which I much preferred. So now we're on to some oil pastels, and there's a grapefruit and an orange on that page, and I really liked doing that. There's also a kiwi that I do show a bit later on, and this next page is combining all the mediums so far together, and I really enjoyed that piece. I hadn't seen, nobody else in my class really did that, and I thought it was pretty cool, and that's how I annotated more. And my teacher after that actually told me to annotate less, and here's me remembering about the kiwi because I wrote on the back of it, which I thought was pretty fun. And I just use like string to put that in. So the next page is my Knowles Badges Pew page, which is my first artist research. I absolutely love this page. I even posted it on my Instagram, and the artist replied. It's one of my most favourite pages I've ever done, and I just really enjoyed it. We used string art, I used some watercolour, some biro. It was just pretty much lots of fun for me. So this was actually from a trip we went to Plantasia, and it was basically getting loads of observational studies and some photography. I quite like this page. I'm not sure, it's not my best work, but I think I wasn't really enjoying the trip that much. I feel quite bad saying that. Now we were looking at some photographers, and I chose Edward Henry Weston, and I think this page is pretty cool. It's very simplistic, which I do quite like. And we had to write about some black and white edit steps based on the photos we took. And now this is quite embarrassing. You see me struggle so hard to show you what this looks like open. But eventually I used my brain and weighted one side down to hold it open, and I love splashes of colour. That is so fun. Now that was all natural, and now this is my man-made section, because I kind of forgot to say that our theme was nature v man-made. So these are some time sketches I did. Can't remember the timings, but we had to do lots of observational drawings, and I really like this spanner I found in a box. and I drew it a lot. Like the one down the bottom took me hours, honestly. We also looked at Ruth Allen, and oh my god, that bit in the bottom right corner, awful, absolutely awful. It looks really suggestive. I promise it's not. I tried my best. Now this was my artist response, and I love this. So I actually went to New York on a school trip, and I used a picture from there as my artist response, and I think it looks really cool. The one on the left is the best. Now this is my favourite page ever, oh my god. So I convinced my dad to take me to Bristol so I could go to Upfest, and this is honestly one of the best pages I've ever done. I love the title, I love the colours, I love the photos. I honestly really enjoyed that day out with my dad. I was quite lucky. Then I looked at Sven Frommer, and this is where my love for ruler scraping paint started. Don't know if you can tell. I did a contact sheet based on some images and started editing them. I can't remember why. I think we just had to show like development, and I was experimenting, and the ink bit here broke my printer. That was not fun at all. I absolutely destroyed my printer during art GCSE. And yeah, so I kind of just did some ruler stuff on top of existing photos, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. My teacher didn't really like it, but I thought it looked quite nice. And you can see here, this is all unfinished. I never annotated any of it, but I was just editing pictures to kind of be in his style, and this thing failed miserably. It used to work, but I think it's been closed for so long, like it just broke on me, so I was quite sad about that. And then there's my evaluation of Sven Frommer, and that is my first sketchbook done. I didn't actually do a final piece for it, which I was quite sad about, but to be fair, we were in lockdown. So now we're on to my second sketchbook, and this one I kind of focused on my own topic of graffiti, and look, my teacher was so nice, I loved her. But yeah, so I picked my own topic and I chose graffiti, and this is my first artist called Martin Watson, and I loved his work. It really inspired me. I did 2 artist response on him, and I much prefer the one on the left, as the one on the right was supposed to be a tiger, but everybody said it looked like a monkey, and now I just cannot unsee it. But I kept it in because I kept in all my bad work to show development and stuff. Annotate everything as usual. I also really like this page. It's so long, and I think her artwork is really, really pretty. I actually really enjoyed this. And now we come to my artist response, which is one of my favourite portraits ever. I know it's of my cat, but still, let me have it. So it was nicknamed Zombie Cat amongst my family and my teacher, and I think that's really cute. But honestly, I just really enjoyed doing that piece. It was such a nice change, and I think she's really cute. Now we had to do a compare and contrast of our 2 starting artists, and I really enjoyed doing that. And then, yeah, this is when I mentioned Upfest again, but in a different context. I used all different images because I took so many. Then we had to do some observational studies, not even for our topic, just in general, and I love that Coke bottle. That took me, not Coke bottle, Coke can. That took me forever. And so did the spray paint can. The one that I'm holding, not the little quick one with highlighter. And here's some more observational study, but now you can see my interest in spray paint begin. So I was kind of fed up of traditional drawing by this point. You do kind of get bored of it, and so I decided to try and do more spray paints. However, lockdown. This is a lockdown piece I did. I literally covered the page in tea and just took pictures of random things. And then this is some photography. It was really hard to do as there's not much graffiti where I live. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. But I tried my best, and I think it looked cool, and I did some edits on it and evaluated it. At this point, I gave up with writing. So I was just typing, and here's a page I never finished. I just could not bring myself to do it. I mean, we're on to Banksy, the OG spray painter that everybody uses, including me. And my teacher wanted me to do portraiture, so I added this in. You'll see why later. But I actually didn't mind doing it. I hate the fact I had to draw myself, and I think it looks awful. And that's when I started using sticky notes to annotate with, as it's a lot faster. And I think it looks okay. And the QR code, I will show you what that looks like. I'll have to screen record my computer to show that. I'll do that at the end. But I also really enjoyed this little photography project. And from it, I made this like little booklet. I don't know, it's pretty fun. Yeah, you can kind of see what I was going for with the project. Also, I forgot to say the big eye is something I drew in year 9, but just put it in this sketchbook because I didn't have any time to draw a new eye. This is also one of my favourite ever pages. This is a page based on the Kennedy Space Center. I think it's really cute. I spent ages on it, and this is all pictures me and my parents took when we went to Florida. And they gave me some of their film photos, and honestly I love that page. I think it's super cool and quite unique to my project, as I was really interested in space and I started experimenting more with stencils and graffiti. So I actually left the stencils in. I think that's a good idea, to kind of leave what you're working on in there, just because it shows how you did it, and as always, annotated. Big long page of annotating, but that's the normal in art. You spend more time annotating than drawing. Now, I also did product design GCSE, and because of this I kind of used 2D design to make stencils and laser cut them out myself. It was really useful that I did do product because it made this step so much easier, and yeah, I just really enjoyed using the stencils. I thought they were pretty fun and stuff, but it was a lot of effort. My favourite is the space helmet by far. Now, it moved on to final piece planning, and this came around so fast. This is my first idea, and then we have idea 2 and idea 3, and idea 3 was really last minute, but my teacher was like, you should really do this because you can draw. I want to see drawing in your final piece. So now I just went into more planning. So I drew a portrait of myself based on this image I took wearing a mask. Thank God I didn't have to draw lips or nose. And then this bit is kind of cool. So I made different backgrounds, and I knew what I wanted the mask to look like. It was inspired by Martin Watson, the first artist, and I made different backgrounds and kind of just put the image on top to see which one I liked the best. I don't know, it's pretty cool. It kind of showed development, I guess. Like, I thought the collage was pretty cool, but my teacher liked the ruler spreading of paint the best, and so did I. And I don't have my final piece with me, I'm sorry, but I have a picture of it, so hopefully that'll do. And that's the end of my sketchbook, so I'll get the other stuff ready now. Okay, so I should be having my final piece on screen, but here, oh, my cat just woke up, oops. And yes, so it was A2, and so I did the background first. So the background was an A2 piece of white card, and firstly I printed out, what's it called, different newspaper headlines relating to COVID, and then I stuck them all down, and then I did my ruler scraping. I don't know, you kind of put paint in blobs and just grab a ruler, scrape it down. I thought it looked quite cool, so I did that for the background. And then for the portrait, I used the gridding method. Really helped, like, a lot, and that was also done on A2, but it was A2 card. That took me quite a few weeks. I only really worked on it in lessons because I didn't want to take it home, bring it back, but it took me a few lessons to say the least. And I think the shading on it is pretty decent. Could be better. Like, I really like the mask. My teacher kept telling me make it more dramatic but I don't know, I liked it. And then so what I did was I cut around that using what are they called, like the little craft knives, and then stuck it to some, it was kind of like thick foam because I wanted it to lift off the page a little bit, add a little bit of depth. It's not really noticeable in the picture, unfortunately. And yeah, I would have brought it home today, but it's really windy and I was scared about it breaking and I didn't want to fold it or anything, so I just left it in my old school for now, but I can always go back and get it one day. And then so I stuck that down with glue, and then boom, final piece done. Didn't involve as much graffiti as I liked. I kind of kept the graffiti aspect to the mask, which you can probably see. I used Posca pen, felt tips, Sharpie, and I just kind of just doodled. It was very much Martin Watson style, and he was probably the favourite artist I'd done for that project, because my whole project was revolved around graffiti, and to be honest, I didn't even use spray paint in my final piece, but nevertheless, I think it's decent. It kind of reflects my sketchbook. Not as much space as I wanted, but my teacher was like, you should do portraiture, so you listen to your teachers. Okay, so you may notice different clothes, different hair. I tried to find the PowerPoint I did. No avail. It's on my other laptop and I can't access it, so I'm really sorry about that. But I've shown you everything else I have done for my GCSE. If I do find it, I'll post it on one of my Instagram accounts and link it in the description, but I don't think I will, so I'll leave it here. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave any questions you may have in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. I really enjoyed art and it was actually kind of a stress-free lesson for me as I enjoyed drawing and all my other subjects were very academic and righty. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video and hope it was useful in some way. Have a lovely day, bye!